Everybody, doing a quick shout out for Mr. Fisher Bike. I hope you are having a great day. In this little chat that I'm going to have, I'm really going to focus on what I collect, why I collect, and kind of give you a quick rundown of how I got here. So this is me. This is my office. This is where I spend just a ton of my time. I work, I play, and this is kind of where all the magic happens. I've been working on some TTMs, which is why my desk looks a little bit like this. It's usually not this messy. And then, of course, I had a delicious Dr. Pepper this evening. That is my chair, which fits perfectly under there so I don't trip over it. And usually when I stand up, probably, I don't know, 90% of the time, and my wife got me this little cushiony mat, which is nice. But when I don't want to stand up, I just roll this, put that over there, pull the chair out, and then this will actually go up and down. So this will go down to a sitting desk or a standing desk, and I dig it. So I was sitting so much at work that my butt actually hurt, and I needed to do something else because it was so bad that I was in tears. So it was bad. So anyway, so I keep the window open and I can see when the mailman comes and when people walk their dogs and let them poop in my yard and don't pick it up. These are just some of the collectibles that I have. I am a Texas Rangers fan, and I like that one a lot. Stars fan is Mikey Moe. Dallas Cowboys fan, and a Mavs fan, although I don't have anything directly in front of me for that. This is a sweet 8x10 Yogi Berra that I absolutely love. That's him saying goodbye to the old ballpark. My mother bought me this for Christmas one year, so it's extra special because, I miss her. So I have things all throughout my house that remind me of my mom, and they all make me happy and sad at the same time. So it is just part of life, and it is what it is. But let me tell you how I got to where I am. I started collecting baseball cards when I was little. And, they're awesome for trading with your friends. And I've always been kind of a neat freak, although you can't tell by my office right now. And I've always liked having things organized. It's just in me genetically somewhere to be anal retentive about those things. It drives my wife and my son crazy, but that's just me. This is my life list. My bucket list is to go to every ballpark. I actually went to Colorado last year, so I need to put my sticker there. But I've been to quite a few. I go with a buddy almost every year, and we'll hit different ballparks, and it's a lot of fun. This is my wife and my little guy, lots of years ago. And there he is, a few years ago. Feels like yesterday. And another opening day. We go to opening day at the Texas Rangers every single year. It is part of our family tradition. There's Mavericks. I got to see Dirk hit his 10,000th point. I got him to TTM this 8x10, and I matched it with the ticket that I went to that game. This one's pretty cool. It is the Hail Mary photo signed by Drew. This was before he was in the Hall of Fame, but it says Ring of Honor, which is pretty sweet. You can't tell, but this is kind of a metallic photo, so it's extra reflective. So that's why you're seeing all that. I also got last minute tickets to go to this game with a buddy from work, a different guy than this trip, and saw Sammy Sosa hit his 600th home run. So that was pretty cool, and it was neat that it was against the Cubs. Anyway, my office, which if it weren't for this hobby, would be spotless and completely devoid of anything fun, probably. It would just all be work. But right now it is a mess because I have my hands in so many different projects. I just don't know what to do with myself. So as a kid, I loved collecting and organizing and having everything just so. And I probably stopped really collecting anything baseball card related or basketball or anything like that when I was, I don't know, so 93, 94, somewhere right around there, when girls got a lot more interesting than sports cards. I also got a lot more involved in playing sports at that time, and I didn't have a lot of money growing up anyway, so it wasn't hard to lose something that was taking money from my little collection. Um, yeah, so I stopped collecting baseball cards. Up until that point, I was also getting comic books, and I'd pick them up at the grocery store when I'd go to with my mom after work, and that was a lot of fun back when you could do that. Um, I don't know, and I've always liked coins and stamps and just I like to collect things that make me happy. So I got some Lego. I got some more Lego in the other room. I got I have 3 autographed Nolan Ryan baseballs. I am very lucky with that. That's a star. That's named after my mom. My wife bought that for me. That is a UNT alumni hockey puck. There's Dwight from The Office. It's just really weird. That's from a 40 caliber Barrett sniper rifle that I got to fire. It was awesome. These are goggles. I took my son to the horse races, and one of the riders gifted that to him. Anyway, so my little cubies are just a mess because these all represent different things I need to do or I want to do, and there aren't enough hours in the day to be quite as nerdy as I wish I could be. So going back to my history, these are kind of cool. Those are signed by Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca, and those are 2 of the little cast iron figures that I had when I was a little kid. I wish I had all of them, but those are the 2 that survived. That's the stuff for my weekly home run challenge. Here's a bunch of racing cards I'm trying to go through for my TTMing. Yeah, it's just, I have so much stuff. And I love this. That I took my son to, my wife obviously went with us, but to Disneyland or Disney World, the one in Orlando, for his 5th birthday. And we took that, and then my wife did this really cool frame where it's all rulers, and got him to write "My Daddy Rules," and I absolutely love it. Here's a little Groot. I think it's supposed to be a flower pot, but I use it for my little spare cash thing. Here are a couple of my boy's Rangers hats back when he was a little guy, and just all sorts of stuff. My Mattingly collection. I put my TTMs in there. These are his Pokemon binders. I have some more baseball binders over there. These are all Star Wars cards, and those are all autographed 8x10s in those binders. And in addition to all this, I know you see comic books, but I have just boxes and boxes of comic books. I have an entire closet full of baseball cards. I just don't have room for all of it. So there are times where I walk in here and I think to myself, oh, I need to just pull it all out because it's driving me crazy. Some more Pokemon cards. These are all duplicates that don't go in those binders. I probably need to move those into the other room as well. These are some Carline Rip stuff that we haven't ripped yet. Some supplies, some more stuff we haven't ripped yet. So I have some coins and stuff down there. Here's my coin and penny sorter. There's other stuff in there. It's just, I have stuff everywhere. Here is a bunch of Star Wars autograph cards because I want to do shorts with those. Here's some more over here. These are all my sons, and which is perfect to talk about him because really he is the reason why I have gotten back into collecting. So I stopped collecting, like I said, from like 93 up until like 2012. And I just, my focus was girls, and then it was girls and sports, and then it was work. I don't know. For 20 years, I worked 7 days a week, and I had 2 and 3 jobs. And I was also I was also going to school at the same time. My goal was to finish college with no debt, and I did that. But I worked a lot. I did not. I was not enjoying life. All I did was work and go to school. I had a goal. I needed to accomplish, and I knew there was an end point. And that's just what I did. And I did that even after I graduated college. These are pins. These are I like to get these at all of the ballparks we go to. So I know some people get hats. Like RJ collects sets, likes to get hats. I get lapel pins because they fit really nicely into your pocket. Anyway, that's that. So these are from all the ballparks specifically, and then this one I have just extras. I have some more old school ones. I have them in a box somewhere, and I haven't been able to find them. But I also haven't looked really hard. Those are kind of fun. Anyway, so when my son was born, I basically told my boss that I needed another position. That I couldn't keep doing what I was doing, which was, here's Troy Aikman with a T-Rex head, just in case you hadn't seen one today. These are a bunch of autographed bats. So I told my boss, I was like, hey, I can't work sun up to sundown 7 days a week, because I was working, 70, 80 hours a week, easy, because I wasn't shutting down until like 11 o'clock every night. And so I was no fun. I don't know why my wife put up with me, but she did. And yeah, so the day my son was born was the day I basically said, hey, I'm out. I can't do this anymore, because I had to choose whether to continue on my career path, which was going really well, frankly. I was really young, and I was high up on the food chain, and I was rocking it. Hey, my son made this, and he is a great artist. So we've been trying to start a little vending machine business, and that is our logo. Isn't that awesome? He's so cool. That's Don Mattingly, in case you didn't know. Of course, I have to have something Donnie baseball in here. And this Witten 8x10 says, no helmet, no problem. Not fun. I got this all signed in person. Oh, and I didn't show you all of this. There's a bunch of signatures on there too. I got all those signed in person. So I stopped collecting cards, stopped collecting comic books. I would still go to autograph things, because that was just, whenever somebody was doing a free autograph thing, I could sneak away, and I could still just work through the night. And so that was kind of weird, but it's weird to think of it, but standing in a line for 3 hours or whatever was my time to relax. So this is another ballpark little thing. On this one, you scratch off. Again, I still need to do my Colorado one. That's just a fun little thing. That's my mom. She's fun. She was pretty amazing. That is my nephew, who passed away several years ago. He's a really good kid. That is my uncle, who also passed away several years ago, and he was an amazing man. And that is my grandmother, who was like a second mother to me. We grew up we all lived together, she, my mom, and I, and really, really close. But she had a really good long life. I don't know. She got a lot more time than most people do. So for that, I'm grateful. But it's always still hard. So I basically quit my job, and my boss is like, "Nah, we'll find something else for you." And so I get another program, and I basically am put on it to fix it. So it's a client we're about to lose. It's, hey, we're gonna bring this guy on, and he's gonna fix all your problems. So no pressure there, right? So I have a brand new baby at home. I may or may not have a job if I'm not able to fix this program. And so I'm right back into it. Now I'm traveling. That's Steve Nash. Bunch of stars pucks. Kareem. Bunch of starting lineup stuff. This was some giveaway stuff. Oh, this is a magnifying glass that lights up because my wife thinks I'm old, and she's right. So I'm back in a position where it's another high stress job, trying to fix stuff, and going on at the exact same time as a brand new baby, a brand new mortgage, truck payments. Shortly after that, my mom gets sick, and it was rough. It was rough, and it didn't get better for a long time. It took years for it to get better, but my work, I was able to fix what I needed to fix, and I got to stay on, and they're still my client today, and they're wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful. So I'm very blessed that I've been able to enjoy the people I work with. It's still a job, you still got work to do, but it makes all the difference in the world when you can stand the people you talk to every day. So I'm miserable, right? So I'm miserable. It's the early 2010s. I stopped doing any of the autograph stuff that I'd liked doing. There just wasn't time. And my wife bought me a box of Gypsy Queen, and it was 2012 Gypsy Queen, and I hadn't opened up baseball cards in forever. And she was like, "Here, let's rip into some baseball cards." She knew I had a bunch because I had a bunch in my office, but they just sat in boxes in the closet. And so we ripped it, and it was fun going through all the names, and she absolutely loved it. So her getting excited about it got me excited about it. And then she's like, "We got to do some more. This is so much fun." Cause I think we got a hobby box. So we got an autograph and maybe a relic. And, oh yeah, she was hooked. She didn't like baseball when we first started dating. But what worked for me is I would tell her the backstories for all the kids that were playing, and she would say, "Oh, is that such and such who did this and this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then she'd start giving them all nicknames. And so then she loved it. And then that was extra fun for me. And yeah, that's kind of how I got pulled back into collecting in general again. So ripping baseball cards was an escape from the real world. It brought me back to being a kid, and it gave me just 10, 15, 20 minutes away from the list of responsibilities I had, the amount of crap that was just raining down on me at all times, it felt like. And then the worry and the stress. So the only thing that stressed me about that is when I left the hobby in the early 90s versus when we were getting back in the early 2010s, the price of cards changed a lot. So I was freaking out a little bit about this. I was like, "Honey, we gotta stop buying these, $100 boxes." It's like, we can't do this every day. So we slowed down a little bit, but and then it turned into, well, man, that's fun, and I kind of slipped back into paying attention to some of my autograph boards of where people were signing, and started doing a whole bunch of that again. And comic books came back, and I turned back into the 10-year-old kid that I was, with a whole lot more responsibility, but with some more, I had more money to spend than just my allowance. You know what I mean? So I got to get a lot of things that I couldn't afford back then. And then I started doing things like trying to build some of those early 90s sets that I couldn't afford to do back then. Frankly, I'm still trying to build some of them. I'm still haven't completed them. So I'm failing, but I got time, hopefully. Hopefully I'm still around tomorrow to try to work on some stuff. And as you see in my office, I have a bunch of projects going on all the time. So it's hard to, sometimes I can't just focus on one thing. So like the TTMing you saw, and all of this stuff in my TTMs. This is how I figure out who I want to send to, and then I got a spreadsheet of what I sent and when, so I can do my TTM videos. Plus getting TTMs back is so much fun. So then I'm my 10-year-old self again. I'm getting sports cards, collecting autographs, and then I'm not only I'm doing that, and I'm also collecting silver coins, which I enjoy, and comic books, and then the comic book movies really started. More than just a Spider-Man or a Superman movie every once in a while. I started exposing my wife to that. And she's like, these are so much fun. And so that made it a lot easier to include her. So I already have her in this baseball card world stuff. And she's this big sports person. So that worked out really well. Then I can work in all this comic book stuff. And then she likes jewelry and coins and stuff like that. So that was easy to get her into this. And then my son's getting older, and he's, by the time he's about 5 or 6, some little kid at school is like, hey, look at this is a Pokemon card. And they're like, it's a such and such animal. And my kid was absolutely fascinated with all animals. So he came home and he's like, Daddy, can we get some Pokemon cards? Such and such kid has some. And I'm like, I don't know anything about Pokemon, but yeah, we can check it out. And so I bought him a pack of Pokemon cards, and one pack turned into, I don't know, 7,000. I don't know, a lot. It turned into a lot over the last 6 years or something. And so now we're big Pokemon people. But I got to tell you, I don't like the cartoon. I can't do it. Too old. I'm too curmudgeon. But so he's 5 years old. He's into dinosaurs. He's into Pokemon. And then I'm like, hey, do you want to watch some Star Wars? He's like, no. I was like, oh, come on, let's watch some Star Wars. And so I made him watch a little bit of New Hope. And he's like, this is awful. I'm like, oh, no. So my little heart is cracking, right? So he doesn't like sports. And then now he doesn't like Star Wars. I'm like, what am I going to do? And anyway, he started watching Clone Wars. It's a cartoon. It's animated. And then he's like, whoa, this Star Wars stuff, it's pretty awesome. So then now he's completely hooked into Star Wars. So he watched all of Clone Wars, and then all of the Resistance, and then all of them. And then he started watching all the movies. So he's seen everything. And once he digs his teeth into something, he's just full on. So right now he still loves Star Wars, he still loves Pokemon, but he also really loves history and geography. So coins is perfect because he likes to hear where the coins are from and what they do, and I'll teach him how to figure out what the metal content is, and we'll look at all the years and all that stuff, and he loves it. My grandfather passed away, who's not on my board, but should be. I need to get a picture of him. And he lived all over the world and worked all over the world. He was in the oil industry. And so he had this big Crown Royal bag full of coins that he just picked up all over the world. And so my grandmother gifted it to my son, along with some other things. And we spent like a week going through them and separating them. And it was so much fun. So he really enjoyed that. So our channel used to be called Bucket Full of Toys. And if you ever have emailed me, I still have my old email address. And it doesn't make sense because that's not what our channel name is. But we used to just do toy videos because he saw some other kid doing dinosaur videos, and he was like, can we do that? It's so awesome. Like, of course we can do that. We can play together and we can do this, and we got it. And then it was, oh, but now I like Pokemon too. So then it was Pokemon and dinosaurs and Octonauts and Hot Wheels and whatever we were playing with at the time. And so the toys have kind of gone out, but we still have the Pokemon. And so he's really into the Pokemon. And so we've just taken all of this nerd stuff that the three of us enjoy doing together, and we've built our little channel. And that's how we got Three Good Nerds. And so the actual name was his idea. We were trying to figure out what we should be called. And he's like, well, there's three of us. Good is a play off of our last name, and we're all nerds. So we played with a bunch of stuff, and yeah, that's what we came up with, the Three Good Nerds. Whoa, Three Good Nerds. And yeah, and so November of last year, so just a few months ago, he is like, hey, can we really make a go at this YouTube thing? And I don't know, like, we're uploading videos, and he and my wife were watching YouTube all the time. They knew all these YouTubers. They were learning about stuff. They were sharing stuff with me. These musicians, these Pokemon people, they like to watch stupid videos where people hurt themselves. Just so much crap out there. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So I said, yeah, because it's more family time. And I just started picking it up. So I started trying to figure out what I needed to do to edit videos, and what I needed to do to make those little thumbnail pictures, and tags and hashtags and all that other stuff. And yeah, late November, early December, really started trying to reach out and become more of a member of the community, as opposed to just, somebody who sits in the background. And then we started hooking up with other people in other different communities, because we're really diverse. So it was Pokemon people and sports card people and autograph people. And I started TTMing again just a few months ago. It's been awesome. I've had so much fun doing it. And so it's TTM people. And then we have the coin and the metal stacking community, and the comic book community, and the people who like to travel and see cool stuff. These are all things that we love collectively in our little group. And so we've really, as a channel, have really reached out and tried to make sure that we're keeping up to date with all the cool stuff that's going on in all those areas that we find interesting. And so that kind of just brings us here today. So that's how I got to where I am today. And the reason why I watch those videos is because I really find it interesting. Now, I will tell you, and I won't hold anything back, that there are really popular people in some of those different groups that lots of people love that I find off-putting. And I realize that the joke there is, clearly, sir, you should be off-putting. I get it. I need to lose some weight, like a lot of it. But what are you gonna do? I like Whataburger, and my wife is a good cook. So the deck is stacked against me. All right, I'll go for a walk. I digress. But there are people, like I said, there are people that are really popular, that are great members of the community, but for some reason, they don't appeal to me. Maybe it's how they present. Maybe it's their shtick. I don't know. Who's to say? And I will tell you right now that I fully recognize that people who love comic books or love cards or love Pokemon might not dig our channel, because we do some of that, but we also do all of this. So if you are 90% of one thing, I mean, we're not even 50% of one thing. We got different levels, and it's just whatever we're having fun with at the time. And so I really feel like the Three Good Nerds is it's really just a reflection of what our family's into at that time. So it may be that at some point we stop doing Pokemon. And frankly, if my son decides he doesn't want to do Pokemon anymore, my wallet would appreciate it. Sorry, that's mean. But you know what I'm saying. As he grows older, his interests are going to change, and so this channel's going to change, and I'm okay with that. I follow people that I find to be genuine and entertaining and knowledgeable. And I wouldn't even say knowledgeable. I don't know. Knowledgeable has to be the top three, because I feel like I don't know 100% about anything. I feel like I learn all the time. I know a little bit about a lot. I think, I think I know the history of a bunch of baseball cards, but there are people out there that know every set, every player, the history behind him, and I'm like, that is amazing. In the stacking community, they know about all the coins, exactly where they came from. It's amazing, and I learn through them, and so I get to soak up all of that, and I get to teach my son or my wife when they'll stand to listen to me. I joke that my wife doesn't watch our videos, and that's probably because she's stuck with me all day. Why would she then want to watch our videos and hear my voice even more? That's it. I'm rambling, and I could really go on for another 20 minutes, I'm sure, but I'm not going to do that because this is already a really long video for me. But I will encourage you to check out Mr. Fisher Bike. He doesn't do rips. He's a card guy. He'll do reveals. But what he's really good at is just interacting with the community. And honestly, that's my favorite part about doing this. Doing the videos and all the hashtags and editing, it's a grind. It is not easy to do, trying to think of all the stuff. There's certainly a cost associated with it. I'm not saying that there isn't pleasure in there, that I don't enjoy it, but my favorite part is the interacting. So I love jumping in on lives and seeing what people are talking about and getting in on the chats. I like commenting on people's videos and seeing what they're up to. If maybe they got a good hit, or maybe they got crap, or maybe I saw something that they didn't see. That's kind of fun to have conversations. TTMing, comic books. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So I did not expect that getting more engaged in the YouTube communities again at the end of November, early December, was going to be this much fun. I am having a blast. I still work a lot, and so sometimes it is still a grind to get it all done. And I know we put out a lot of videos, and so for those of you that actually watch them all, I appreciate it. I really do. So I couldn't do it without you. Again, this is all for my kiddo. So pretty much everything I do is for my family. Is that too deep? It's probably too deep. Anyway, happy Friday. I hope you're drinking a beer. I might go make myself a whiskey and a cigar. I'm not going to make the cigar. I'm not going to roll it. But I have 3 humidors. So I got a lot from which to choose. Anyway, talk to you guys later.